Hello and welcome to a full midweek EFL fixture list with all the stories across Tuesday and Wednesday packed snugly into 90 minutes of action. And we start tonight in the Championship with bottom versus top. Sheffield Wednesday 10 points from safety and facing leaders Leicester City, who are back to winning ways at the weekend. Commentary from Hillsborough comes from Tom Skippings.
Sheffield Wednesday have won one game anywhere all season in the league. Leicester have won 14, including 7 on the road. It's a tall order for the home side tonight as they take on the Championship leaders. But Bannon has picked it up in midfield. Fatawu with an early touch for the Foxes. Pereira, and that was a loose pass, and Bannon's in here. Real chance for Wednesday, and he steered it wide. What an opportunity for Barry Bannon. With 20 seconds on the clock, Cody's pass to Pereira was loose. Bannon was in sharply, but he couldn't hit the target with the chance. Fass. Hermansen. That's gone astray as well. Bannon's in sharply. Patterson. The shot is blocked by Vestergaard. Well, Danny Rühl's side are creating havoc in these early stages. They're much sharper than Leicester. Vestergaard stood firm. Fox will deliver the free kick. Diaby! Free header straight at Hermansen. Wednesday really have to take one of these opportunities, you feel. Leicester's defence struggling again. The big centre-half was all on his own from the free kick. Directed it straight at the keeper, though. Vadidi will take on Diaby. Step over to get away from him. Stands it up to the back post for Fatawu. It's 1-0. And that's what happens when Leicester City finally get it right. They've been under pressure in this game so far. But Mavididi got away from Diaby. He's absolutely free on the back post for Fatawu. And he couldn't miss from there. And Leicester take the lead. Wonderful skill from Mavididi and a cool finish. Johnson will take on his man and deliver the cross, in it comes. Headed back down for Cadamarteri. Can he get the shot away? He can. It's blocked once again. And Leicester will scramble it clear eventually. Back it comes to Hermansen. Another decent opportunity for Wednesday. Late in this first half, Johnson's cross. They didn't deal with it again. Patterson's header down. Cadamarteri's shot hit Vestergaard. Is taken down the line. McAteer helps it on. Bernard should deal with this, but doesn't do so. Vardy, and here's McAteer. Should have scored, should have wrapped it up. That was the opportunity for Leicester. Jamie Vardy was determined. Bernard dawdled, and McAteer couldn't hit the target with the finish. Chowdhury under pressure. Yes, they're still working hard, and they've won it back again. Here's Ashley Fletcher inside the box. Gets the shot away. Hermansen makes the save. Vestergaard hooks it away. What an opportunity for Wednesday. In truth, Ashley Fletcher didn't make the most of it. They won it back well. He's in space. Had to do better with the shot. Buckley lofts it forward. Deep into stoppage time now. They've won the header. And here's Hendrick. Jeff Hendrick, deep in injury time, has surely snatched a point for Sheffield Wednesday. It's his first goal for the club. They've persevered, they've hung in the game, and when the chance came, Patterson's header, and Hendrick made no mistake. And Sheffield Wednesday have surely snatched a point at the death. Well, this will be the last opportunity. Dewsbury Hall will deliver the free kick for Leicester. Vestergaard, it's kicked away by Dawson. Well, that would have been cruel on the home side. Vestergaard frustrated, but the final whistle has gone. Danny Rühl's side have battled away and picked up a precious point. It's finished at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leicester City 1.
Bristol City at Southampton in a moment. But first, Daniel Farke called for a strong performance from third-placed Leeds United as they welcomed Swansea City down in 17th.
Any latecomers would have missed a remarkable start to this game. Leeds had the ball in the net inside the first minute when Georginio Rutter got in behind the Swansea defence to cross for Dan James to score against the club where he'd started his career. But as Leeds' heads were in hands and a few thousand eyes locked on the assistant referee, Swansea raced downfield to go in front with a lob of the highest quality. Just 18 seconds between the disallowed goal and Jamie Patterson's finish. Pascal Struijk made a mess of the back header, and having failed to score in 47 league matches before the weekend, Patterson had his second in as many games. The celebrations were short-lived. With a sense of inevitability, Crescencio Somerville sent Joel Pirou through. Swansea know better than most that he rarely misses those. 46 goals in 96 appearances for the club before his summer move to West Yorkshire. All of this with just 4 minutes gone, and Leeds were unrelenting. Glenn Kamara spotted the run of Somerville, who called Carl Rushworth into action. The goalkeeper grew up in Halifax, so had extra demand for tickets from friends and family. But he couldn't prevent Leeds from going in front right on half-time. Rutter killed Ethan Ampadu's pass with his first touch before muscling his way through to score his first at Ellen Road since joining the club in January. This was all about the first touch from Rutter, and Leeds were on course for a 6th straight home success. By contrast, it's just 1 victory in 7 since Swansea's 4-match winning run in early October. Basic errors like this from Josh Key haven't helped. James must have started to doubt whether this would be his night, as Rushworth saved once more. But within a couple of minutes, Daniel Farke could afford to relax. Sam Byram's challenge got the crowd back up on their feet, and Rutter this time turned provider, as James got his goal at the 3rd time of asking. That's now 5 in his last 8 games, as Leeds keep up the pressure on the top 2. And in this kind of form, they'll be pleased to be back at home against Middlesbrough on Saturday.
Southampton were on a 9-match unbeaten streak in the Championship, but visitors Bristol City had the best opportunities in the first half. Cal Naismith's corner found its way all the way through to Tommy Conway, his header way off target. Liam Manning's side had edged a 5-goal thriller against Middlesbrough at the weekend, and his team continued to create chances. Another header, this time on target from Mark Sykes, but Gavin Bazunu managed to claw the ball away. The Irish keeper had to be on his toes, with the Robins sensing an opening goal was within their grasp. Russell Martin's half-time blast was still ringing in the ears when the deadlock was broken. Adam Armstrong is on 99 career league goals, but turned provider to set up Kyle Walker-Peters. Just his 2nd goal of the season. This one very similar to his strike against Preston a month ago. With this in his locker, you'd imagine the manager will encourage him to take on a few more shots. The 2nd goal was proving difficult to find for the hosts. They never looked in danger of conceding after those first half scares. Armstrong had the best of the chances to add to the lead. He remains 1 short of his career century. Saints' unbeaten run rolls on though, 10 matches and counting, and a swift return to the Premier League may be on the cards.
I thought we were outstanding in the second half, especially for that first half an hour in the second half. The only frustration is we didn't put the game to bed and score a couple more goals. But there were some amazing, really incredible moments of football in there, and people playing together in their position, real aggression with the ball. And I think we win because of that period in the game.
More from tonight's Championship action when we return, including Wayne Rooney, fresh from his first Birmingham City victory and hoping to make it 2 on the bounce at Ewood Park. Welcome back. 2 sides who were beaten last time out now. Ipswich Town had stuttered of late, but still sat 2nd as they took on Millwall at Portman Road.
Didn't work out for Ipswich at the weekend, beaten 2-0 at West Brom. They were already 1 down by this point after Darnell Furlong struck inside 5 minutes. Morsey. Burns. Always has the trick in him. And this time across as well. Headed down here for Chaplin! It's the tractor boys that strike early this time. And Conor Chaplin scores in successive home games for Kieran McKenna, who will breathe a huge sigh of relief after this lightning start. Nodded down by Hurst, and Chaplin just held his position and was able to rifle home. Well, preparation wasn't ideal for Millwall. They only arrived at the ground around an hour before kickoff here. There was some expectation that kickoff might be delayed, but ultimately they decided to go ahead as planned. Broadhead. She's been nudged off the top of the top scorer chart by Conor Chaplin with that early goal. They were both on 6 before tonight. Hurst, Chaplin, Burns, Chaplin. It's Luongo, 2-0. It's all going right tonight for Ipswich. Massimo Luongo put back in the sides, and he made it look so easy. His 3rd career goal against Millwall. And this could be a night of goals once again here at Portman Road. Just about make out the Ipswich coach Kieran McKenna through the mist. Well, if you're a neutral watching Ipswich's games, they've certainly been entertaining. They've had 61 goals in their matches, both for and against now this season. Here's Norton Cuffy firing it through. It took a deflection, and Hladky has to palm it behind. The first effort on goal of any description for Millwall tonight comes from their right back. Ipswich were 12th in League One when Kieran McKenna was appointed back in December 2021, but they've only been going up since then. No free kick. Chaplin misses out Hurst. It's Burns. Where's Burns? Off the post. A stinging effort there from Wes Burns. Rattles the upright. Broadhead. Burns. Half cleared. Longman will complete the job. Brought back though by Burgess. Urged to shoot. Leif Davis. And the header from Broadhead makes it 3. Oh, that was beautifully created. The Tractor Boys are ploughing into Millwall this evening. And Nathan Broadhead with a pinpoint header. And at this point, you have to ask the question how many it could be here for Ipswich. Temperature going down all the time now. Well into the minuses here in Suffolk. At a stadium that has been the home ground of Ipswich for over 130 years now. Chaplin. Tossed over by Bielkowski, who wasn't sure. Maybe he was just moving a bit too much. More of the same would have been the message from him at half-time, I'm sure. Incredible stat under McKenna is that they haven't lost a league game, Ipswich, between the days of Monday and Friday under him. Hutchinson. Clark coming through. Luongo! So close to being 4-0. Luongo, a scorer already who put it wide. A night that he just wants to end right now. Honeyman. Longman's out there as well. Nisbet in the middle. It's towards him, and Millwall have a goal back. The first meaningful shot they've had in this second half wipes out Ipswich's clean sheet. Well, their fans finally have something to cheer. Harness. Oh, great footwork. Marcus Harness. And on the turn, it's a great save by Bielkowski to deny Scarlett again. He goes down, play goes on. But how have Ipswich Town not scored a 4th goal? Well, of course, Bielkowski with a good save to deny Dane Scarlett first of all. And then Harness on the follow-up. The full-time score, Ipswich 3, Millwall 1.
Ewood Park shortly, but next Huddersfield. who picked up just their second point in 5 games on Saturday. They went to Sunderland, who'd won just twice in their last 7 championship matches.
Huddersfield had to rely on an equaliser 3 minutes from time at Southampton, but they were almost in front early at the Stadium of Light. Jaheim Headley denied by a super save from Anthony Patterson. Although Darren Moore's side have found it tough going of late, they were determined to make a nuisance of themselves here. And they did when Mikael Helik crept in unnoticed at the far post to put the Terriers in front. With his 5th goal of the season, that keeps him top of the goal-scoring charts for the West Yorkshire side. Jack Clarke is the go-to man for goals for Tony Mowbray's team, but their equaliser came from a less prolific source. Luke O'Nien hadn't hit the target since April, so this was the perfect moment to change all of that, as he pounced just before half-time. It galvanised the home side, who could rely on the attacking threat of Joe Bellingham throughout to keep the visitors on their toes. And when he couldn't threaten, Trey Hume brought the very best out of Chris Maxwell. The energy and skill of Headley going forward, though, also caught the eye, and he was a big part of the visitors' second. Although Sunderland eventually found a way to stop him, they couldn't prevent Delano Bergzorg from hitting the target. That was his 3rd of the campaign, and when he scores this season, the Terriers don't lose. If the Black Cats were to end that streak, they had to find something special, but try as they might through Clarke, they just couldn't muster the attacking magic. Dan Neil's follow-up effort was blocked, no penalty, said the referee, and nothing doing full stop for the home side, as Huddersfield generated a handy cushion between them and the drop zone.
Blackburn's run of 2 wins in 3 matches had reignited their hopes of another playoff push. But it was the visitors who almost scored the opener when Siriki Dembele hit the woodwork in the first half, not too far away from his first goal in 8 matches. An even half, a few clear-cut opportunities, saw the sides go in level at the break. That's despite the efforts of Callum Britton, whose long-range effort called John Ruddy into action on the stroke of half-time. A fine fingertip save. Sami Smodic signed a new contract at Blackburn this week, reward for his goal-scoring exploits. And the Championship's leading scorer was at it again 2 minutes into the second half. He opened the scoring with this fine finish over the on-rushing Ruddy. That was his 12th league goal of the campaign. His 13th soon followed. Harry Leonard fed him through, and Smodic timed his run to perfection. Another composed finish, adding to his season's tally. A nice way to celebrate your new deal. Birmingham picked up their first win under boss Wayne Rooney last time out, but it appeared as if any hopes they had in this one evaporated just before the hour mark. Defender James Hill tried his luck from distance. Goalkeeper Ruddy perhaps won't want to see this one again. Hill's first senior goal in more than 2 years. At 3-0 it looked like game over, but the Blues weren't out of it. They gave themselves a lifeline in the 63rd minute when Smodic's former teammate at Peterborough, Dembele, fired home after some nifty footwork. From seemingly dead and buried, Rooney's side suddenly had a spring in their step. And with 12 minutes to go, the visitors were right back in it. Dembele once again, this time from the edge of the box, as his shot beat Leopold Wallstedt. It was now game on. Rovers had lost 5 of 8 at home and nerves were creeping in. But they sealed the deal just as the clock ticked past the 19-minute mark. Leonard picking out the bottom corner. 6 goals in this one, all in the second half. Rovers coming out on top to maintain their push for the playoffs.
We know, I think football-wise, it was a mixed day at the office, should we say it in that way. We know we can play excellent football when we do the right things, and we did the right things a part of the second half, where we created some great chances, scored some great goals, and in the end, winning the game.
Next, we'll get into last night's championship stories, with plenty going on all around the country. Welcome back. let's kick off last night's championship action at the Riverside, where Middlesbrough and Preston North End were looking to inject some positivity after defeats last weekend.
Crooks with a pass to pick out. I'm not sure it's getting forward here for McNair, if he can look up and find one. Resisting the calls to shoot. Well, that's a lovely little ball. It's one. Isaiah Jones gives Borough the lead. And they made it look comfortable, didn't they? Smart assist too. Really patient build-up play. Barlaser waiting, biding his time. And a lovely little slip pass through. Isaiah Jones. Getting Borough ahead, and well, there was nothing that Preston could do to stop it. And it could be in again here. Manuel Latilat trying to open up the angle, speared it back to Crooks, and Preston for a moment they looked all at sea. Andy Crooks able to find the target. Is there more danger for Preston? Not cleared, and there it is. Rav Vandenberg, his first goal for Middlesbrough, and the teenager makes it 2 for the home side. Woodman came for it, he got nowhere near it. Now Vandenberg, well, he was taking everything with him. Not the prettiest finish you'll see. The all count equal. I think it went in off his chest. Either way, the salient fact is that Borough lead by 2. It's Barlaser. Aggressive shoot again, and it's another for Isaiah Jones, with skill and swagger to boot. And Borough look more than comfortable now. Lovely build-up play. Morgan Rogers slipping it forward, and that nonchalant little dink allows Isaiah Jones in again to make it 3-0 to the home side. And every time they come forward, Middlesbrough, they look threatening. Greenwood trying to find the through ball. It's gone in. Bangura. Alex Bangura gets his first goal in English football, and in doing so caps off a rampant Middlesbrough performance. Well, plenty for them to celebrate tonight. Questions could be asked about the goalkeeper, who's definitely kept the score down tonight, it must be said, but take nothing away. Alex Bangura. Borough have won this comfortably. The score 4-0.
We make the trip to South Wales now, with Cardiff City just a point outside the playoffs and taking on West Bromwich Albion, who moved up into the top 6 on Saturday.
And it comes Xmet, the near post this time by Moed, and headed away. Robinson looking to maintain possession, but now West Brom can break and get up the pitch, and there's a real opportunity for the visitors. Sarmiento is forward. Here he is! And he's hit the post. Jeremy Sarmiento with the closest chance of the game. Couldn't really get any power behind the shot. Grady Diangana, who slid him in. Perhaps he delayed just a little bit. Sarmiento was just behind him, and then he couldn't really get any power on the finish. West Brom starting to retain possession and knock it around nicely. And as soon as I say that, that's a stray pass from Moet, which gives Cardiff the chance to get forward. Bowler doing it again. Palmer off his line smartly to deal with it, and then berates his defence, as he should. Really neat run away from Sarmiento. Past the defenders. Palmer off his line smartly. It was a fairly even contest that first half, pretty cagey at times. Both these teams in decent form. Don't want to concede, don't want to lose the form that they're in. And Sarmiento has whipped in an extraordinary effort, which has found the bottom corner of the net. Out of absolutely nothing. Surely he's looking to deliver the cross. Checks inside Bowler, whips it in. Absolutely no chance for Runarsson, and West Bromwich Albion have the lead. And still West Brom dominating possession, creating most of the chances, and there's another opportunity, and that's wasteful from Asante Thomas. out of nothing. The long throw from Furlong was glanced on at the near post. Time running out for Cardiff to find an equaliser. They have been second best for most of this second period, but here's Atete finding Ugbo, who gets to the byline. Bartley sliding in to make the block. Shouts from behind that goal from the fans for handball against Kyle Bartley. Ike Ugbo combining with Atete, two of the substitutes. Gets the ball in, Bartley sliding. Is there a suspicion of handball from the West Brom defender? Nothing doing from the referee. Palmer will thump this downfield, and there is the final whistle, and the Albion fans who've travelled can celebrate. A few words exchanged between the coaches there, it appears. Final score here, Cardiff City 0, West Brom 1.
Hull City had only lost twice in their last 20 home league games, ahead of the visit of Rotherham United. Wayne Carlisle was still in temporary charge of the Millers, with no replacement for Matt Taylor appointed as yet.
The chairman, Adrian Ilagella, writing in his programme notes this evening that he's enjoying the fruits of Liam Rosenior's labour in his year in charge so far. It's a nice ball through. Delap can't quite get hold of that. Oh, it's a poor back pass. Delap could be in here. Johansson comes, can't gather it. Hull City ahead, and it's Tyler Morton. A horror start for Rotherham United, a dream one for Hull. Delap there just with a heavy touch, but an even heavier one there back towards his own goalkeeper. Johansson came, could not gather. Home fans appreciative of the football they're watching. Christie making the overlapping run. Lakilo. No space for Christie really to operate here. Lakilo's got a bit of room. Swings in the cross. Well, that's it, Lembakisa. Philogene, oh, that's cheeky! It's brilliant! Jayden Philogene with a second for Hull, 9 minutes on the watch. And this is a goal that just shows the confidence oozing through Jayden Philogene at the moment. Well, Rotherham United already have a mountain to climb, coming into this game with an absolutely rotten away record in the Championship. No win in 21 away league games now. Delap. Well, Johansson can't hold it. And it's 3. Hull City are running away with this. Scott Twine in on the act. It's his first goal since the loan move from Burnley. The lap strike was powerful, too powerful to hold. And as Twine followed in, it's a little sheepish in his celebrations. But this is all too easy for Hull City. Well, it took a little while for Hull City to get going at home this season, but they've won their last 2. Greaves, and he's continued his run here. Still Greaves, still Greaves! What a goal that could have been. Well, Jacob Greaves almost had a 4th. Well, what kind of path, of any, is there for Rotherham United in this second half? Liam Rosenior urging his side to get more. They're on the front foot, and there could be another one here. Philogene, his second of the night, Hull City's 4th. Well, any doubts about the way this game is going extinguished there. Lakilo involved. Johansson out to deny Twine. Philogene with the finish that was simple compared to his first. Plenty forward for this. To the back post. There's Hall. Well, there is one back. Morrison across. Hall down, in off the post. And just something for Rotherham United to hold on to. Surely no path back here. It's Lakilo. It's for an angle. Wins another corner. Well, there won't be time to take it. A home win as comprehensive as they come for Hull.
Leagues 1 and 2 aren't far away, and next we wrap up the championship, including high drama at Loftus Road. Hello again, to Vicarage Road next for Watford against Norwich. Two sides with lofty ambitions, yet both stuck in the bottom half of the table.
Chance for Stacey to cross. It's poked away by Ismail Kone, and Norwich City have a corner kick. So Norwich corner, headed goalwards and headed in. What a fabulous start for Norwich City. Danny Batth has headed in his first goal for the club. Hwang here, it's 2. Well, it's a great finish. It really is, but it's some awful play by Watford. Hwang Ui-jo with his 3rd Norwich City goal. He leathered it over the top of goalkeeper Hamer. Ismail Kone finding Jamal Lewis off the head of Stacey. Ismail Kone once again. On target and in! Oh, it's a great goal. That's a fabulous strike from Ismail Kone. And they're back in the game. And that's his first ever Watford goal. The way he took this, you'd think he scored every week. Jamal Lewis. Watford chins are off their chest now. It's a great ball in, it's in! Mileta Rajovic. Watford 2, Norwich 2. Goodness me, 2 Watford goals in the space of what, 2 minutes? Ken Sema, Rajovic in the middle. Kone has to shoot, and he does, and he hits the bar. Asprilla, Kayembe, long with the save. Well, it was pretty tame from Kayembe. It certainly wasn't tame from Kone. Corner played quickly and played short to Kone. Clipped into the penalty area, headed firmly away by Duffy. Wesley Hoot on target, pushed out to Asprilla. Brilliant feet, it's in. The goal is given, and Watford have the lead. It was a nervous moment for a second, but Yasser Asprilla takes the congratulations now. Be very interesting to see who got the final touch on this and just when it crossed the line, but the decision is it clearly did cross the line. Finishes Watford 3, Norwich 2.
3 games, 2 draws, and only 1 goal so far for QPR under Martí Cifuentes. Stoke visited Loftus Road, where before the match, QPR led the EFL tributes to their former player and manager, as well as England boss Terry Venables.
The expectation around Loftus Road for something to happen under the new boss, but nothing happening with deliveries like that from the set piece. Chair gets in on the left boot this time, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving at the back post, and it's a penalty. James Linnington, the referee, pointing to the spot, and Rangers have a chance from 12 yards to get the opener. Well, they were certainly hands-on, I feel, as Enda Stevens is booked. But whether it was enough to warrant pointing to the spot, I'm not too sure about. There is a shirt pull, isn't there? Dykes from the spot. Tucks it home. A first goal at Loftus Road under Martí Cifuentes. And is that perhaps going to guide Rangers to a first win for the new manager? The centre-forward with his second goal of the campaign after finding the back of the net against Swansea in September. It's a corner to deal with now for Rangers. And they haven't dealt with it. Ryan May, right before half-time, finds an equaliser. It's a sucker punch to the gut for three sides of Loftus Road tonight. Just falls so kindly to him. His second goal in the Sky Bet Championship this season pulls Stoke City level. Late ball round the corner, and there's certainly a tug on the shirt there as Smith goes down. Now, was he in the area? And this is a problem for Stevens, who gets a second yellow card. We've only just started this second period, and Stoke City, after doing the hard graft to pull themselves level before the break, are now down to 10 men. Cynical and silly, the challenge here from Stevens, just pulling back on the winger. It's outside the box. Berger. Bit of space on the edge of the area, and he has a go! It's a lovely finish. A kiss off the inside of the post, and the side down to 10 men suddenly lead here. And if you thought the equaliser was a strike that sucked the wind out of the sails, this one has silenced the home crowd. It's a cracking finish that. He picks his spot perfectly. Colback. Back again to the substitute. It's good control. It's very good control. It's an even better finish by Lyndon Dykes. Martí Cifuentes celebrates and then gets back down to business, to perhaps orchestrating a winner late on here for Rangers. But Lyndon Dykes has perhaps salvaged a point at least for the hosts, and in some style. There's certainly a spark about Rangers now. And they're fighting hard to try and perhaps find this late winner. Lakesh working down at the byline, wins it back, and it's in! Loftus Road celebrates like it hasn't celebrated all season. Ben Pearson sends it past his own goalkeeper. But if the work rate to provide that piece of service doesn't sum up the effort level from Queen's Park Rangers tonight, I don't know what does. Gooch gives it away. Willett comes forward, has support to his right in the form of Kelman. Might choose to take it on himself. That's it. 3 points in the bag. Chris Willett puts the icing on the cake. And the first win of the Martí Cifuentes era is surely coming now for Queen's Park Rangers. Great work from the substitute, and he picked his spot to perfection too. And every home supporter in this stadium is breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Two teams who picked up vital wins at the weekend were Coventry and Plymouth, level on 19 points ahead of kickoff.
Looking to hit Coventry where they can hurt them early on here, and that ball across had to be dealt with as Kessler Hayden. All of Plymouth's 5 victories this season have come at home. There's Coventry looking to, well, almost curl one in the bottom corner, but it felt like Michael Cooper was aware that was drifting wide from the get-go. A deeper delivery comes to Sheath. Michael Cooper with the starfish save. much goalmouth action so far. As there's a drive-in goal from Luke Cundle. He's impressed this season. Houghton's delivery. Oh, and just over the crossbar. Lewis Gibson reacting quicker than anybody else. Michaels for Sheaf. A chance here down the line. Excellent run. It's going to be cut back, and it's put into the back of the net. Haji Wright. Plymouth are livid. At such a crucial time in the game. Haji Wright gets his 5th of the season, but did Van Ewijk take this ball out of play before he cut it back? Kessler Hayden swaps passes with Randall, and that's a comfortable save. Coventry City 1, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Leicester stayed top, but their first draw of the season and Ipswich's win means their lead is now only a point. The chasing pack of Leeds, Southampton and West Brom all won. Hull replaced Preston in the playoff spots. Sheffield Wednesday picked up an impressive draw, but are now 12 points from safety following Huddersfield's victory. QPR climbed to 22nd after their first home win of the season. After the break, we dive into League One, including Wycombe left wandering after a balmy end at Barnsley. Straight into League One, starting at Oxford United. New boss Des Buckingham with a tough first test at home, welcoming leaders Bolton Wanderers, who are on an 8-match winning run in all competitions.
Oxford's weekend defeat at lowly Cheltenham created little optimism for the visit of League One's form outfit, but the hosts made most of the first half running. They did it from range though. Kyle Edwards bounced a curler off the crossbar, and just before the interval, a free kick from Cameron Brannigan almost caught out the impressive Nathan Baxter. But after the restart, Bolton started to look like a side who hadn't lost since early October. When they did, they found Oxford's keeper James Beadle in equally good form, while John Daddy Bodvashian was wasteful late on. No 9th straight win, but a 7th clean sheet on the trot for the Trotters.
Portsmouth were brought down to earth with a bump at the weekend as their 27-match unbeaten record came to an end, and that's also what happened to Abu Kamara as he was sent flying by Steve Seddon. Penalty, said referee Scott Oldham, and thanks very much, said Pompey top scorer Colby Bishop, who rattled in goal number 11 of the campaign. Both teams had leaked 4 goals in defeat on Saturday, but the Portsmouth rebound was gathering momentum as Manchester City loanee Alex Robertson helped himself to his first senior goal. Nothing much then for Burton fans to get their teeth into, and a miserable evening all round for them, and Seddon in particular, ended with a red card as the former Pompey loanee lost another duel with Kamara. A flying boot punished with a second yellow as the home side pondered a 5th league match without a win.
A meeting of 2 informed teams among the chasing pack looking to muscle in on the top 2, and Stevenage looked all set to make it 7 straight wins in all competitions. Luther Wildian only tends to score 1 a season. When he does, they're normally quite special. Steve Evans had 11 months in charge at Peterborough to be replaced by Darren Ferguson. 2 former Posh players combined, but Evans' side 2 ahead, Dan Butler crossing and Ben Thompson emphatically volleying home the half clearance. So Alex Ferguson was in the crowd alongside old mate Barry Fry. Maybe after some half-time hairdryer treatment, Peterborough got a goal back within 6 minutes of the restart. Joel Randall's deft finish to score for his 3rd game running. Posh had won 4 of their last 5, and after pummelling the Stevenage goal, they got their level at 9 minutes from time. Ronnie Edwards scuffed his shot through a crowd of players. Ricky J. Jones ran off to celebrate it. Regardless of who got the touch, the draw keeps the sides just a point apart.
10 League One games without a win for Port Vale coming into this one, and they needed keeper Connor Ripley in top form as Derby looked to inflict further misery. Ripley reacted well on the hour mark to keep out Tyrese Forner's deflected shot. 8 minutes later, he was called into action again as Derby cut their way through a tiring Valiant's defence. Nathan Mendez-Lang's shot pushed away as Ripley desperately tried to cling on to his clean sheet bonus. All of his efforts were undone, though, when Tyrese John-Jules made an immediate impact from the bench. On the pitch for less than a minute, the Arsenal loanee opened his account for Derby on his third appearance for the club. That's 4 league wins on the spin for Paul Warne's men.
Northampton came into this one having won 2 on the bounce, so confidence was already high when they took the lead at Bloomfield Road through Kieran Bowie as he latched on to a Sam Hoskins through ball. Blackpool boss Neil Critchley admits his side were a little bit lethargic in everything they did. There was a moment to celebrate, though, for the home fans with 25 minutes to go. Jordan Rhodes was unmarked and did what he's done so many times before. His textbook header drawing the sides level, his second goal in 3 matches. Blackpool ended Portsmouth's unbeaten run last time out, but despite that were off the pace throughout. An underhit back pass from James Husband was pounced upon by Hoskins, who scored the winner with 15 to play as Blackpool slipped further behind in the playoff race.
This game will be remembered for one incident in stoppage time, which was preceded by 90 rather forgettable minutes. Maël de Givigny looped a second-half header onto the crossbar for Barnsley. But we were heading for a goalless stalemate when wicketkeeper Max Striek was taking his time, so Sam Cosgrove gave him a nudge. The pole went down, the striker rolled the ball into the net, and that's where the drama really started. Unfortunately for the visitors, referee Darren Drysdale saw nothing wrong with Cosgrove's challenge, and the goal stood. Cosgrove chuffed with his first for the club, but Wycombe's Harry Boyes saw plenty wrong with that decision and got himself sent off. A first for his manager too, but not the good kind.
We've conceded a goal tonight that I've never seen before. I think it was plain to see, everyone saw what happened. So from our side, the circumstances surrounding that was obviously very disappointing. I've never seen a goal like that in a game, and there's an obvious reason why.
With just 1 league win from their last 12, Cambridge boss Mark Bonner was coming under increasing scrutiny. His players weren't helping the cause. The clumsy tackle from Jordan Cousins on Dylan Duffy gave Daniel Mandroiu the chance to step up and give Lincoln the lead. He scored, and Bonner was a step closer to the U's exit. After almost 4 years in charge, there had been plenty highs, including last season's final day relegation escape, but this was as low as it's been. Just after the half-hour mark, Duffy made it 2-0, and there was little to suggest Cambridge had the stomach to pull this one back. 5 minutes from time, the Imps added a third, their biggest away win of the season, completed by Jack Vale. Cambridge announced they'd sacked their manager following the defeat, acknowledging Bonner would go down as one of the most important people in their history.
Saturday's win over Oxford suggested that Cheltenham's recent upturn might develop into something more significant, and they took an early lead at the Valley. Liam Sercombe's cross met by an unmarked Will Goodwin. Despite 3 games unbeaten, the Robins aren't really used to being in front, but Charlton's main goal threat is far more familiar. And when Miles Leaburn was upended by Lewis Freestone just 6 minutes later, he made his presence felt. Alfie May, who moved from Cheltenham in the summer, stepped up for his 13th league goal of the season. The celebration suitably subdued. The Addicts were on a 6-match unbeaten run in all competitions themselves, and once they were level, they assumed a degree of control. Corey Blackett-Taylor almost gave them a half-time lead. And after the interval, it became apparent that Cheltenham would struggle to maintain their undefeated record in this fixture. After Blackett-Taylor and May had done the hard bit, Bodan Tedic really should have put Charlton in front. In the end, the winner came late and with a touch of controversy. Tyrese Campbell's cross hit the arm of Will Ferry, but referee Gavin Ward needed a hand from his assistant to spot it. Once he had, May obliged once again to get the better of his old mates. A late goal and 3 points prompted a bit more excitement this time.
Richie Wellens' side were just moments away from going in level at the break in this one, but deep in first half stoppage time they failed to deal with a set piece, and eventually Grant Ward lashed home the opener, his first goal of the season. With 10 minutes to go, the home side had a chance to put the result beyond doubt. Substitute John Marquis, who'd spent a spell on loan at Orient, was through on goal, but got underneath it. A real let-off for the visitors. Then, in injury time, the O's returned the favour. This time it was their turn to score from a set piece. Substitute Tristan Kramer credited with the final touch moments after coming on, meaning an own goal, and the scores were level. But the chances didn't stop there. 2 minutes later, and a misplaced header presented Marquis with another opportunity. He was closed down by goalkeeper Sol Bryn, who ensured the points were shared in this one. Nothing separating these two mid-table sides.
After their biggest defeat in over 60 years, Exeter welcomed a Shrewsbury side who've managed just 2 meagre goals on the road this season. Reece Cole almost marked his first appearance in a month after injury with a goal. A 7-0 defeat at Bolton left some fans calling for Gary Caldwell to go. And even though they were still booed off at the finish, Exeter did manage just a second point in their last 10 matches. Thanks largely to Vili Sinisalo's late save to deny Dan Udo the winner. The shot-shy Shrews have now failed to score in 7 of their last 8 on their travels.
Having seen their unbeaten streak disappear at the weekend, Fleetwood were under pressure early at the DW Stadium, just 4 minutes gone, and there was Jordan Jones picking up his second goal of the season. Before the weekend, Lee Johnson's side had gone 4 games without defeat, but their 3-0 home loss to informed Stevenage looked like it had dented defensive confidence, as Sean Clare celebrated a scrappy second. In fact, he'd enjoyed more than a little help from an inadvertent ricochet off Fleetwood keeper Jay Lynch, who was credited with the own goal. And that suggested it might not be Fleetwood's night, and so it proved when 11 became 10 in first half stoppage time. Josh Earl given his marching orders with a second yellow for simulation as he tumbled in the area. With his departure went any realistic hopes the visitors had of getting back into the contest, and Wigan continued to build on their momentum with another 3 points and a third, a Tom Pearce strike rounding off a very successful night as they extend their run to 1 defeat in their last 8 now.
Reading were on the brink of back-to-back wins for just the second time this season and started well against Carlisle. The Cumbrians' captain Sam Lavelle prodded into his own net on 26 minutes to give the home side the lead. That sparked a frantic 13-minute period with no fewer than 4 goals. The second one came along 3 minutes later. It was a well-worked equaliser for Carlisle. Early substitute Luke Plange with the deft finish. Within another few minutes, the net was rippling again as Reading retook the lead. Harvey Nibbs fluffed his first attempt, but remained unchallenged to stab in his first league goal since August. Having waited 94 days to score his second League One goal of the season, he barely waited 7 minutes for his next, as he led the Carlisle defence a merry dance and picked a spot to give the Royals a 2-goal lead. The second half took a little longer to catch alight, but there was another flurry of late goals, 2 in 5 minutes. Started with Lewis Wing's cracker from distance. Femi Aziz made it a 5-star performance for the home team as he completed the scoring. Reading moved off the bottom of the table, and Carlisle are being further drawn into the relegation battle.
Bolton's winning run came to an end, but a point kept them top on goal difference from Portsmouth. Teams in the playoffs didn't move, but Derby were the only winners. Barnsley's late win takes them up to 7th. Cheltenham dropped to the foot of the table after back-to-back wins for Reading. Exeter's winless run is now 10 matches, but their draw leaves them 2 points clear of the drop. Fleetwood and Carlisle slipped to big defeats. League Two when we return, including Wrexham, up 2 places into second at the weekend, and yesterday in action at Harrogate. Welcome back. Stockport still with their noses in front in League Two despite their fantastic winning run ending on Saturday. Salford were up next, winless since October.
The league leaders were looking to return to winning ways after that defeat at Newport last time out, and they started the brighter of the two teams. Nick Powell coming close to the opener, only to see his effort thunder back off the bar. Paddy Madden still only has 1 league goal to his name this campaign. He was denied a second by in-form Amis keeper Alex Cairns. The second half saw more opportunities for the home side come and go. Fraser Horsfall had time to take a touch, but saw his effort cleared off the line by Theo Vassell. Home fans could have been forgiven for thinking it was to be one of those days, and it could have got worse late on. A rare foray forward saw Liam Humble's shot well saved by Ben Hinchcliffe, a welcome point for Salford after a run of 3 straight defeats.
Wrexham just love scoring goals at home, although they haven't been anything like as prolific on the road. Mind you, Andy Cannon fired them in front at Harrogate, and following their 6-0 hammering of Morecambe, that was their 7th unanswered goal in 4 days. Number 8 wasn't far away, just 5 minutes later from Elliot Lee, and surely the League Two High Flyers will be heading back to Wales with another 3 points. Well, not quite, because crucially the home side forced their way back on the stroke of half-time. Dean Cornelius taking a leaf out of Cannon's classy finishing book. That put the wind in the wings of Simon Weaver's side, and they soared to new heights shortly after the break thanks to Anthony O'Connor. The visitors have been forced to bring on substitute keeper Mark Howard because of injury to Arthur Okonkwo, and he was a spectator as Abraham Oda threatened. That said, the Red Dragons might have pinched it through Sam Dalby. Manager Phil Parkinson said a draw felt like 2 points dropped.
It took 18 games for Mansfield to lose for the first time this season at the weekend, so how would they react against struggling Tranmere? The early signs weren't promising as Charlie Jolly raced through to end his 10-match goal drought. Versatile forward Jordan Bowery's been utilised at fullback among several roles this season. His persistence helped to set up Rhys Oates to equalise before half-time. Nigel Atkins said he'd set Rovers up to hit Mansfield on the counter, and they did so ruthlessly. Rob Apter scoring his 5th goal in his last 5. Tranmere were on course for a 4th game unbeaten as they show signs of recovering from their poor start to the campaign. Even though Will Swan's well-taken equaliser denied them victory, the Stags couldn't find a late winner. That despite Tranmere ending the match with 10 men. Right in front of the assistant referee here, Jordan Turnbull grappled with Lucas Akins. That resulted in a 2nd yellow card in stoppage time, and it's his 2nd red card already this season.
4 straight wins in all competitions for Crewe, who clearly don't know when they're beaten. Take Courtney Baker-Richardson, for instance, on the deck 1 second, and then finding the bottom corner the next. Sutton's equaliser didn't match that for quality, but they didn't mind a bit. After Omar Sawunmi and Lee Angol both had a go, Louis John put the home side on course for another 1-1 draw. They'd had 3 on the trot in the league already, but maintaining the sequence was by no means guaranteed. Crewe's Shiloh Tracy was foiled by first Steve Arnold and then the crossbar. Then again, Sutton almost snatched a win to give their recent revival a bit more momentum. Dion Pereira teeing up fellow sub Aidan O'Brien, but they had to settle for ending Crewe's winning streak.
Pete Wild had his Barrow side seeking a 5th straight win in League Two, and perhaps Walsall gave them too much respect, standing off Ben Whitfield, who gave the Bluebirds an 11th minute lead. The visitors lost keeper Owen Evans to injury, and his replacement Jackson Smith conceded a 2nd with 20 minutes to go when Niall Canavan forced the ball over the line. At the other end, Paul Farman reacted well to deny Jamil Matt. The Saddlers have gone 3 matches without a goal, but Barrow are flying up the league.
Adam Campbell played more than 70 times for Notts County over a 2-year period, and he didn't wait long to haunt his former club as he fired home the opener for Crawley after just 10 minutes. Both sides are harbouring playoff ambitions this season, and the home team were able to level just 10 minutes later. 36-year-old David McGoldrick with a wonderfully instinctive finish for his 8th goal of the campaign. County were looking to cement their place in the top 7 and almost completed the comeback in the second half. Jody Jones' ball in found its way to Dan Crowley, whose shot was cleared off the line by Will Wright, perhaps a let-off for Crawley. But the reprieve didn't last long as Crowley turned provider. His ball in headed home by Jim O'Brien for his first league goal of the season. 9 minutes later, and the visitors became their own worst enemies. Their attempts to play out from the back pounced upon, eventually leading to Junior Mareish finishing from close range. He too netting his first league goal of the season as Crawley fall back in the race for the playoffs.
If you want edge of your seat football, Swindon are the team to watch this season. If you're into anti-aging techniques, then maybe give them a miss. Brace yourself for a quite bonkers game. It all began with a penalty won by George McEachran, converted with minimal fuss by Dan Kemp for his 12th of the season. Jake Young has even more to his name, and after a stoppage time winner against Mansfield on Saturday, he was never going to pass up this delightful cross from Remio Hutton for number 16 of the campaign. In freezing conditions, those who opted for shorts on the open-ended away terrace were rewarded with a goal of the highest quality right in front of them. Saidu Khan surely putting Swindon on course for their first away win since August. Even the sight of an Accrington penalty wouldn't cause too much concern. Tommy Lee with a chance to make amends for the earlier penalty he'd conceded. Murphy Mahoney guessed right, though, to keep him out. To compound their misery, manager John Coleman was sent off. And Hutton was involved once again as he broke clear to set up captain Charlie Austin to calmly make it 4-0 with a minute to go. Town have been involved in a 5-5 draw, a 7-4 FA Cup defeat, as well as 6-0 and 5-3 wins this season. Korede Adedoyin's nice solo finish gave those remaining Accrington fans something to cheer. And they had another in the 7th minute of time added on. Brad Hills, the scorer this time. Then, in the 10th minute of stoppage time, Stanley made it 4-3. Hills again, scrambling the ball in. But surely there wouldn't be any time for Swindon to implode again, not from their own kickoff. Goalkeeper Mahoney's heart must have sank as Hills went down. Adedoyin burst through, only for Fraser Blake-Tracy to deny Accrington an astonishing fight back.
There hadn't been too much to write home about in this one until the 65th minute. A power cut in the area causing a floodlight failure, leading to a 23-minute delay. After both sides had been dancing in the dark, it was Ali Al-Hamadi who came closest to opening the scoring. Goalkeeper Jake Turner with a leap of faith, only to be rescued by the upright. With 5 minutes to go, the home side provided the moment of magic. Unmarked Connor Masterson took one step up and bundled home the winner, condemning Wimbledon to their second away defeat in a row, something to think about all the way home.
Morecambe announced the caretaker boss Jed Brannan had been handed an 18-month contract as their new boss ahead of this meeting with Newport. 13 minutes in, he had the dream start as teenager Michael Mellon scored to take his League Two tally into double figures. County's Will Evans scored his 10th of the campaign more than a month ago. Since then, the goals have dried up, but just before the half-hour mark, he managed to end the drought. Morecambe had been thrashed 6-0 by Wrexham last time out, but hadn't lost a home game all season and looked to build on that strong foundation. Adam Mayer screwed his effort wide from close range as the hosts pushed to take the lead again. Instead, it was the Exiles who found themselves in a winning position for the first time in the match. Another teenager on target as Seb Palmer-Holden headed in from close range. This was proving to be a good advert for youngsters in the game. With 10 minutes to go, Burnley loanee Mellon came close to rescuing a point, only to see his well-struck shot beaten away. That's 4 league defeats on the spin for the Shrimps. Brannan has his work cut out to get the season back on track.
A fresh start for Grimsby with David Artell confirmed as head coach the day before, and a quick case of the new manager bounce. Danny Rose finding Rakeal Pike and the Mariners ahead in Milton Keynes, which was still the case well into the second half. The home side's 4-match unbeaten run in peril before Alex Gilby found a bit of room and then picked out Jack Payne for a very neat finish. And after that, the search for a winner became a family affair. A pair of brothers off the bench, one for each side and both having chances. First, Abo Issa of Grimsby on the end of a deflection, but unable to beat Craig McGillivray. And then, rather more unforgivably, Mo Issa of MK Dons couldn't hit the target in the last minute of stoppage time. A decent start for Artell, the home side still improving, only the Issa boys would have been a bit disappointed.
Doncaster have found consistency an elusive commodity of late, and finding the net was proving tricky as well, with Tom Smith in inspired form. But the high of that save didn't last long. From the corner that followed, the Colchester keeper deflected the ball into his own net, and Grant McCann's side were on the front foot. The U's, though, can always rely on the goals that top scorer Joe Taylor continues to deliver. The Luton loanee snaffling his 9th of the season. He might have had another before the break as Rovers wobbled. This time it was their keeper Lewis Jones who kept him and Zach Mitchell out. Instead, it was the home side who muscled their way in front. Mo Farl using every inch and more of his 6'5" frame to launch his side back into position A. And they would build on that. Luke Molyneux making a nuisance of himself in the visitors' area, and from the resulting penalty, Joe Ironside smashed home their 3rd to wrap up the 3 points and help Rovers climb away from the drop zone.
After winning their first league game under Graham Alexander at the weekend, Bradford were looking to end a run of 3 successive away defeats, and they got off to a flyer. Matt Platt's close-range header was followed shortly after by a penalty as Andy Cook went down under Jordan Moore-Taylor's challenge. Last season's 31-goal top scorer had been on a barren run, so he gratefully accepted the chance to score from the spot, only his 2nd in 9 games. Forest Green have the worst home record in the division. Callum Jones came on at half-time and almost found the net, but a comfortable away win was completed late on by Jamie Walker's toe-punted finish. Bradford did have to see the match out with 10 men, though. Ollie Sully went through on goal. Ash Taylor tugged at his shorts. A straight red card for the veteran defender.
Stockport maintained their 5-point lead after the top 2 were held to draws. Barrow leapfrogged Mansfield into the 3rd automatic promotion spot after a 5th straight win. Gillingham replaced Accrington in the playoff places. Bottom club Sutton are still 4 points from safety, but are unbeaten in 5. Tranmere stayed 22nd, but are 3 points clear of relegation following their draw. Doncaster climbed to 17th after their victory over struggling Colchester. We'll be back on Saturday with a Championship special, with League 1 and 2 involved in the FA Cup's 2nd round. Usual time, 9 p.m. on ITV4. We'll see you then.